call to order the April 26, 2016 Daly City Recreation Commission meeting. Everyone please stand and join us in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Could we have a roll call, please?
You certainly may, Madam Chair. Commissioner Proano,
Here.
Vice Chair Pastor,
Here.
Chair Kelly.
Here. Could I get a motion, please, to approve the agenda?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
I do have a couple of corrections to the minutes.
Okay.
First of all, there is no mention of the women's event in the minutes, and I know we talked about working with the group to get more people to actually attend the event and to have more of the entertainment at a women's event be women. And then also, under public comments, there is the name Kay Christensen, and there's no indication as to why her name is there. Now, I know that's because she and Lois Ann Indorf were both talking about the Westlake Park tennis courts, but we should at least indicate.
Indeed.
Anyone have anything else?
No, but you're absolutely right.
So with that, can we get a motion to approve as corrected?
I'd like to enter a motion as, on the minutes as corrected.
I'd like to second that.
Just to clarify, the women's event under Commissioner's
It was under
report?
Commissioner report, yeah. So then we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, good, all right. The next item on our agenda is the administration of the oath of office of our new commissioner, but Vice Mayor David Canepa is here and would like to introduce her to us, and she will be in the administration of the oath of office will be by our city clerk, Annette Hipona, this evening.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Commissioners. It's always a pleasure to be here, and the work that you've done over a period of years, some of you have been here a very long time, has been really instrumental and helpful in shaping the policies of this city. And so with that, I want to thank you. I think the person that we moved forward with tonight, Vivian Arroyo, has done so many great things in our community. She's been a true leader, not just in the Filipino community, but I think the community in general in terms of how she gives back. I think she's going to be a commissioner who's constructive, a team player, and I've heard from some of you, in particular, what you are looking for in a commissioner, and I think she fits that. And so she has many friends here tonight, and I'm delighted to be here. And I just want to say to Vivian, thank you for your years of work for the community. If many of you don't know, she's the CEO of West Bay, and that's a large nonprofit in San Francisco that has a tremendous impact not only on the South of the Market, but on numerous other folks in San Francisco. So it's a great pleasure and delight that I introduce to you for the swearing of the oath, Vivian Arroyo. Vivian?
Again, welcome.
Thank you.
Please raise your right hand for me.
Excuse me, Annette, could you move back so you're both by mics?
Okay,
Thank
certainly. Miss, if you want to come, right, because between these two.
Okay.
Thank you. So, I state your name.
I, Vivian Aurelio,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I bear true faith and allegiance
that I bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Thank you.
So help me God.
Thank
Thank you so much.
So if I could have your signature
Okay. Where?
right here.
So, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. That's a pleasure.
Awesome.
And we're done.
Okay. What do I do next?
Come join us.
Okay.
Come take a seat.
Joseph, do you have an extra agenda?
Nice to meet you, Vivian. Nice to meet you. And
Welcome,
thank you.
and here's a copy of the agenda for you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, welcome, and we will move along now to the director's report. Joseph, Curran?
Thank you, Chair Kelly. We have a pretty light agenda tonight, but one of my favorite events in the entire calendar year, we're going to spend some time highlighting. We just wrapped up another wonderful youth basketball season, and the person behind that they coordinated this year's Youth Basketball League is Edgardo Bolaños, who's here this evening to give us a summary of how it all went.
Thank you, Commission, for having me tonight. So this year, we again had another successful year of the youth basketball program here in Daly City. I'm going to go over some of the overview of the program itself and some of the highlights and just some numbers of the participants and things like that. So our program is for boys and girls. So we do separate divisions based on grades, 3rd through 8th grade. With our 3rd grade being a instructional league. So we do change the rules a bit so that they're able to keep up with the game, learn. So it's a little bit more fun for them. So our league is designed to be low key as far as the competition. It takes a struggle to kind of wrangle coaches in because, you know, in the end, everyone wants to win. Parents want to see their kids do well. So we do what we can to keep that in mind. We try to emphasize the sportsmanship as being a key aspect of our league because it's important, something that they're going to learn not only in sports but in life, that, you know, there's a certain way to behave, a certain way that you want others to behave. So something that we try to emphasize through the coaches and through the parents, the players. So, but the biggest thing is to have fun. It is a recreational league after all. We do, this league is so that anybody and everyone that registers on time is allowed to play. It's not, you know, restrictive to money. It's not restrictive to if you have any talent. This is so anyone that wants to play is allowed to play. And all our teams are coached by volunteers, whether they're parents, older siblings. We even had a couple high school kids step up and coach, but they're all volunteers. So how our registration works and our enrollment, a participant can sign up individually. They would come to our office, sign, you know, fill out the form, or they can do it online. What happened? The give or take, we start the registration period in October, and it goes to early December, giving me enough time to kind of put the teams together. So those that do sign up individually are placed on what we call Daly City teams. So they're from random schools. They can be from outside of Daly City. So it's open to, you know, Daly City residents, but also non-residents. We try and keep the teams as, between 6 to 10 players. That's where we average. Obviously, you can't have a team with less than 5. So we do try and keep the teams between 6 and 10. Sometimes we do have a few more. Sometimes we just have to put 11 or 12. But we try and keep the numbers. That gives equal playing time for all the players on the team. We also take in school team registration. I was here about 7 or 8 months ago to update our eligibility rule for those teams. This was going to change the way we took school teams. Essentially, a school team would be comprised of just students that attend that school. We were finding that we had issues with ringers or people from other schools playing for that school because they were talented and teams wanted to win. So we decided to change the rule, and in the most part, it was a successful change.
And this body actually
Yeah, we
endorsed
approved that.
that.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I was going to ask if there was any impact on the program as a result of that.
So, I mean, in the beginning, there was a lot of pushback. I got a lot of angry calls. I think they misunderstood. They thought that we were keeping people from playing. We just told them that at any point they could have signed up with us individually and we would have placed them on a team. It was just that we wanted school teams to be school teams. So some struggled to get those teams together, which was unfortunate. Some of the schools in Daly City are very small, so the body of students to get a 7th grade team, it's limited. But like for example, one of the teams, they only had 4 girls from a certain grade. They signed up individually. We put them with other kids from other schools. They got to play, and that's what we wanted. We wanted everyone to get an opportunity to play. And this is a list of all the participating schools. So all these teams had at least one team. Some of them, like Fernando, Ben Franklin, those actually had, I think Fernando had 14 teams.
Wow.
So, I mean, they're the bigger school, but they were still able to get 14. OLM, they were still, Our Lady of Mercy was able to get, I think, 12 teams. So we were able to get a lot of teams from these schools. Some of these schools, it was their first time. Franklin D. Roosevelt, they just turned into a middle school. So first year having a 7th grade team, got a team in there, they won a championship. So it was very interesting to see who was able to in. We also had a couple teams that were from San Francisco, one being St. Thomas More. Mr. Curran here was the coach of that team, and his daughter, who's sitting here, played in our league. So, but we did have outside teams play in our league.
Was he a good coach?
Oh, he was a great coach. Darby? Yeah. Yeah. So, one of the things we did this year was a free basketball clinic. It was held on November 14th. It was held at Ben Franklin Middle School. We did it was limited to 80 people, the first 80 to sign up, and it was free. There was no obligation to sign up for our program, but we did surpass the 80. The clinic was presented by Youth for Fitness and Education, YFE. They run an after-school program out of Ben Franklin. So they were very willing to help. They had all the equipment. They had all the staff. All we had to do was be there and help them out, but they were able to. So thank you to Robin White, who is the lead with that group. He helped a lot putting it together. And it was successful. We got a lot of people that wanted to play basketball after they attended this free clinic, and they signed up. So it was a great. I figure we're going to try this more and more. Probably have a few more before November, before the registration period opens, and maybe another one like in November to kind of push it. So for our league, it runs January to March. This year, we started our games on January 16th with games ending on the 19th of March. So it's a full 3 months. They have weekly practices. Every team has a weekly practice of an hour and a half, essentially for 10 weeks. And those are scheduled at 6 out of the 7 gyms that we have available to us in Daly City. And games, each team plays a minimum 7. That's what they're guaranteed. Some of them get to play 8, some 9. Depending on how well they do in playoffs and championship, can play up to 10 games. But 7 is our minimum. Games are played Friday nights and Saturdays throughout the day. Friday nights, we start around 6 o'clock, and then the last game being played at 8. Saturdays, we start at 10 o'clock in the morning. And you're talking about 7 gyms going from 10 to 5. So we had plenty of games. So if anyone wanted to watch a basketball game, there's plenty of opportunities.
They play the full hour?
Yes. It's essentially, give or take, it takes an hour to play each game. It's by quarter, so we have Depending on the grade, they play a different time. So third and fourth would play 7-minute quarters, fifth and sixth, 8-minute, seventh and eighth grade, 9 minutes. So we'd have third grade games that would end in half an hour. Seventh and eighth grade games would probably end, most part ended on time. Sometimes they'd go over and we'd have to kind of like get everyone next game ready just to kind of keep our schedule. But yeah, about an hour. Playoffs and championships, we played playoffs the last 2 or 3 weeks on Saturdays and Fridays, and then the championships were held throughout the week, starting March 14th. We played 16 games, so 16 different championships, and it was fairly successful. We didn't have any, many problems, little things here and there, but nothing major. Everyone came out. We had winners. We had some people that were a little sad, but in the end, the sportsmanship prevailed. Everyone cheered for each other, and it was a great experience again. So kind of to go over the numbers. So this year we had 913 participants. You have the breakdown of the boys and the girls. 154 of those were individual registration. So those are the ones that we put teams together. We had to find coaches. We provided the jerseys for them. Out of that, 121 were boys, 33 were girls. For teams, we had a total of 112 teams. And out of those 154 individuals, we created 16 Daly City teams. And we had over 150 volunteer coaches. This included head coaches, assistant coaches. Some of them had as many as 3 or 4 teams that they were coaching. They had their hands full on a Saturday. So it was impressive to see, I do as much as I can to avoid conflicts. But some of these coaches had to really work on their schedules and, be organized to know where they were supposed to be going. So games played. So throughout the league, the 3 months, we played a total of 452 games. 45 of those games were playoff games, and 16 were championship games. So contractors, so we contract our referees and scorekeepers. We had a total of 36 referees that helped us out this season, and 16 scorekeepers. The scorekeepers are usually high school kids, but they love basketball. Referees as well. We had a couple Jefferson high school basketball players that helped us out, and those are paid positions. So, and this is just kind of want to give them kudos for the different teams that won championships this year. In the 8th grade boys, we had 3 different divisions, so we had a total of 16 teams in that. So we broke it out to have the teams be a little bit more equal when it came to talent. But those are the winners for the 8th grade boys, 8th grade girls. As you can see, Fernando Roadrunners did fairly well. We had our Daly City Heat, which was again one of those teams that we put together, and we had the FDR Panthers in the 7th grade boys, which was the first year they've had a team in our league, and they won the championship. 6th and 5th grade, we had another Daly City team win, and JFK. They were gone for a while, but some of their PE teachers got some kids together last minute, and they were able to come in and win a championship as well. And then lastly, but not forgotten, the 4th grade. So I think last year we tried to do a championship. We continued that this year, and those are our 4th grade boys and girls champions. So yeah,
Nice.
with that, if you have any questions for me. No.
Through the
No.
chair,
No, go ahead.
through the chair, congratulations on
Yeah.
such a
Thank you.
successful program
you.
this year. It always astounds me to hear the numbers of
Oh, yeah.
youth as well as the volunteers,
Yeah.
coaches
Yeah.
that come in and step forward and put their time in.
Yeah,
Working with the
absolutely.
kids.
And the success it falls on, all the staff under me, all the people that help me out, make sure that, because every gym has someone working at that gym, making sure that everything's maintained and everything's going. The volunteers that, if we didn't have those volunteer coaches, so kudos to them for stepping up and helping us out. I mean, this can't be done without them, so.
Well, through the chair, I was going to say it's when you drive by Holy Angels, they have the little sign that says, "Congratulations, 5th grade," and it's rolling there,
Yeah.
And I mean, the schools, it's exciting. It's exciting for the school and for the other grades and to watch their classmates or,
Yeah.
win. So it's a great
They
thing.
got a lot of support. Like especially some of the, like FDR, they had a lot of people from their school drive over. The championship game was at Policita, and you can see that half of it was packed with just FDR
Wow.
people. And I take their example just because it is their first year and they were able to make it all the way to the championship. But yeah, every gym you went to, you saw the crowd, you saw the family supporting. It was pretty crazy this year. They had those cutouts with the kids' faces on them. On the
They were the Warriors.
Yes,
that
exactly.
spirit was there. The spirit was there. So everyone really loves to watch their kids play. So.
I have a question, Madam Chairperson. So thank you so much for your presentation, and congratulations on all your hard work. So my question is, and this is a new person question, forgive me, but do you have kind of like a long-term vision for this program? Like, for instance, do you foresee yourself having interactions with other basketball leagues from other counties, something like that?
So, unfortunately for us, our programs kind of run back to back. So some of those other programs in other cities, they either run concurrently or run way before or way after us. So it's very difficult to keep this program going on for longer than what we have it. We are limited to the number of gyms, the number of just the requirements for it. It'd be a little costly to keep the program going year round, or even trying to like compete with other or work with other entities like South San Francisco, Brisbane. So it is something that we're looking into as far as trying to make it easier to manage, because 913 kids, you know, obviously it's a lot of people. So what we're trying to do, and maybe this will work, maybe not, is divide the league into two, where it's the boys go first or the girls go first. We would use a lot less of our facilities or staff, referees. It would make the program longer, but it is something that in the future, we, you know, maybe in that point we could work with other agencies and other, you know, in the county. But for now, I think we're managing the way it is. So.
Okay, thank you so much. So I also want to say that in the future, if there are issues that I could possibly assist you with, well, please feel free.
Oh, no, thank you. Appreciate
Thank you.
that.
Yeah, well, all I would say is thank you for the presentation. I'm glad it was such a huge success, and I hope that it's just as confusing for you next year.
Oh, I do not
113
doubt
kids?
it. Yes,
No,
I do
but
not doubt
I
it.
hope
Yeah.
that the enthusiasm from this year
Yeah.
and the participants will bring more players, and I think that if the basketball teams do well at the Olympics this year, it might bring more kids.
Oh, yeah.
And so,
I think Daly City is a basketball town.
Yeah.
It's, we get a lot of excitement here. So I don't doubt this program will not, you know, it'll only thrive.
good.
So
Congratulations on it.
Congratulations.
And I'm just going to chime in too. As a director, I was incredibly satisfied with how it went. When you get that many kids involved in programs, and we've done it for years, generally you get a certain number of complaints. It's just unavoidable. Things
Yeah, of
happen.
course.
We made it through the entire season without a single complaint. And the one complaint that we did that was lodged actually came about a week after the championships were over. And it was a satisfied customer. She just had an issue with one play out of the entire season. So it was very gratifying to not have to get into so many, trying to resolve disputes and appease parents. So, kudos to Edgardo and the staff for really
Well, it just goes to
keeping on
show.
top of it.
Wow,
Not to
yes.
say that we
Yeah.
didn't have some incidents where parents were maybe, a little out of control, but overall it was
It's to be
a huge
expected.
Human
success.
beings.
To be
What are we gonna do
expected.
with them?
And as a first-time coach in this league, I will say that it was incredibly satisfying, exciting. The support our team had at every game, the gyms were.
Well, your player over there
You would have
smiled
thought
when
you were
I
at a
asked.
Warriors game. The gyms every Saturday were packed to capacity and loud and exciting.
Good, that's
And the kids
wonderful.
had a good time,
Yeah.
and really emphasized the element of fun. They learned and they got better, but they were having fun too. So
That's the most
it's a
important
great
thing.
thing.
And through the chair, did the coaches have to have a I don't know, meeting or training or?
Yes, so every year I meet with all the coaches. So we try and do meetings where I can get as many as possible together, just to go over basic rules. There, the expectations we have of them, and then from there, any new coach that comes along, I meet with them individually, make sure that they know what they're, what's expected of them. They sign a, application and a contract, a code of conduct, and we hold it against, hold them to it. Luckily, we didn't have too many issues, but it's again, it's the staff, it's everyone that they know what's expected of them, and they take care of it before it becomes a big issue. So,
And just to add to that, you couldn't coach unless you had the coach's card that you got after going through the class. And I'll tell you, I mean, even being the director of the department, I got asked for my coach's card before games. So, the staff takes it very seriously.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
very
Carlos.
much.
you're welcome.
Keep up the good work. Any commissioners' reports this evening?
No. Pass.
We're good.
Yeah, we're passed.
Okay. Joseph, you have announcements?
We've got a whole bunch of announcements. Funny you should ask that. We'll start with coming up on Saturday, April 30th. The annual Pitch, Hit, and Run event is going to be taking place at Gellert Park at 4 o'clock. Let's hope the wind is on our side at 4 o'clock at Gellert Park. That is always a lot of fun. And there's a breakfast meeting coming up on senior services, sponsored by the Daly City Partnership. That's going to be Friday, May 6th, from 8:30 to 10:30, and it's going to be at the Cafe Dolger at the Dolger Senior Center at Westlake Park. And what used to be known as the Hershey Track and Field Meet, old-time Daly City people might remember that. Hershey no longer is a sponsor of that, but the track meet continues, and we're very thankful to the Daly City Police Athletic League. That track meet is going to be Saturday, May 21st, and it starts off with registration in the morning and a clinic, and the meet actually starts at 10 o'clock at Jefferson High School, as always. And, of course, Junior Giants is coming again, and next to the youth basketball, Junior Giants is my absolute favorite. It's a 100% free program, sponsored through the Giants Community Fund, and registration, it's actually some of the age levels, or the earlier age levels, are already at capacity. Registration opened, I want to say April 18th. By the end of that day, we had like 150 kids signed up without really a lot of advanced marketing. That's how popular the program is. People were waiting for that registration to open up. So I'm looking forward to having that back. Games or practices start on June 13th, and we're at Westlake and Gellert. A couple of quick, library announcements too, because we got to remember our brothers and sisters in the library. At the Ceremony Library on Wednesday, May 4th, there's going to be a Mother's Day paper crafting event. It's 3:30 May 4th at Ceremony Library. I've got some flyers for that if you want. And then the next following week, Wednesday, May 11th, at 3:30 Ceremony Library, there's going to be a watercolor painting. They're actually going to be out in Gellert Park as their landscape there. So I think that's it.
And the budget hearing for?
The budget hearing
Recreation
for
Department?
our department, the Department of Library and Recreation Services, is tentatively scheduled for May 16th. Help me out. Wait, I don't have my calendar, what day of the week that is, but
Monday.
in this room. Now, there's going to be several departments before us, and right now, the Department of Library and Recreation Services is scheduled for 7. But if you've been to those study sessions before, they're fluid, and if they get ahead of schedule, we might start before 7 if they get bogged down in whatever the departments preceded.
Who's in front of you, do you
I
remember?
want to say Public Works and Police, but
So-
I can verify that.
I think that's what I remember from the
So-
schedule last
some of the big
night.
events.
Yeah.
It's 3 pretty big budgets that night.
Yeah, it is Monday.
Yeah,
And prior to that, if the public's interested, and certainly the commission, on May 11th, the city council's going to do a mid-year study session, mid-year budget review. So kind of looking over the shoulder of how the first half of fiscal year 2015-16 went, and then sort of using that as a guidepost going into the budget. And
wonderful.
if all goes well, we'll have an adopted budget sometime in June.
Good, thank you.
Okay.
I have no cards for public comment. So, but I would like to thank everyone who came to support Vivian this evening. It's
Thank you so
nice
much.
to see some people here, and thank you for our two young people staying awake throughout the whole thing. And if there's nothing else, we need a motion to adjourn.
Well, through the chair, just one little item. It appeared on the Daly City website, but this Saturday is the Norwood Park ribbon cutting. And it's April 30th at 11 o'clock at 8 Norwood Avenue. So that's kind of like on the Sarah Vista, where Norwood runs into Sarah Vista, if you're familiar with the neighborhood. And there should be adequate parking. But for those of you that live in the neighborhood, just walk. Exercise.
I'm sorry, I'm going to miss that. I have a family wedding that
Yeah.
day, otherwise I would be there.
Yeah, and on the last note, when I was hearing the presentation from Ricardo about the basketball, being that it's the playoff season on the professional level, I'm not sure whether the timing's right, but maybe a thought. For all the participants that participated in the basketball program, I've been hearing a lot of watch parties going on in the county. I mean, in different parts of the county. But maybe if the local team makes it further, possibly there might be a thought of doing a watch party at a gym or something like that for the
The
folks.
Warriors.
For the Warriors.
Yeah.
And they can just sit in the stands and watch them.
Party where we bring watches.
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
Popcorn,
But that's it.
nachos.
Yeah, just a thought.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Anything else?
Well, yes, I would like, through the chair, the protocol is. So thank you so much, and I'm very happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to working with you. I'm very, I'm not, yes, I'm a longtime Daly City resident, shuttling between South City and Daly City, but I'm very happy to be here and finally to serve my hometown. Thank you so much for your warm welcome.
Very
Thanks.
Welcome aboard.
Okay, so can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
I move to adjourn.
Okay,
Second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye, aye.
Aye.
Adjourn, thank you.
Thank you.